We have Blake from Mississippi State. He's happy to join us. We're happy to have him. Do we have any questions to start off? Dan, on the left side.
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. Personal goals for this season and things that you felt like you needed to improve on after last season?
Yeah, I think for me, just staying healthy. I think that's the first thing that comes to my mind. I want to be able to play a full season of college football. Haven't been able to do that since like 2022. So that's the biggest goal for me. For our team, I think we just want to go 1-0 every single week. Don't look too far ahead. Obviously, you know, we play a tough schedule, but just staying true to each week and being very focused on it individually.
Still on the right side.
Alex Byington on 3. Blake, just along those lines, you know, how eager are you just to kind of get back out and actually, you know, start throwing it around on the field?
Yeah, I'm so excited. You know, I've never missed 8 games before, so last year was tough just being able to sit out and kind of be removed a little bit. So being back healthy is a blessing, and I can't wait just to get back on the field.
Go on the right side in the back row.
Harrison Reno, UGA Sports. Blake, one of the receivers y'all added through the portal this year was Anthony Evans. What have you seen from him so far, and what do you know about him and his time at Georgia? Yeah, obviously adding Ant was huge for us. We lost Kevin Coleman this past year, so being able to add Ant was huge. He's an explosive player, very shifty, can make plays in space, down the field. He's a vertical threat. And then the person that he is an awesome dude. I love to hang out with him outside the building. We built a great relationship, so can't wait to see what he does this year.
Go over on the left side. Sorry. Go ahead.
Blake, Chrissy Freud, USA Today. You didn't get to play against Georgia last year, but you do have a chance to play against them this year, just if you stay healthy. What were your impressions last year, and what do you look forward to them this season?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you kind of got to look at it like every other game, but Georgia's a very talented team, like always, very disciplined. I'm excited to be able to play against them this year. Like I said, very talented team. You got to look at it like every other week, and it's going to be a fun game. Obviously, it's different because we're playing them at home instead of their place, but, you know, watching them play last year, they were a very good football team.
Go back on the right side, second row.
Yeah, obviously with your injury last year, we didn't really get to see the full scope of Jeff's offense, you know, at Mississippi State. So what can you tell us just from meeting rooms, from preparation, what do you expect from Jeff's offense with you leading it this year?
Yeah, I think for us, you know, we want to be very explosive, but at the same time, we want to be able to run the football. I think that's where it starts, is running the football, so it can open up a lot of different avenues for us in the pass game. I feel like at times last year we struggled with that. So I feel like running the football is where it starts, to be able to open up the touch game and screens and, you know, explosive plays down the field, the play action game. So running the football is going to be huge, and then making plays down the field.
Left side, fourth row.
Yeah, Tyler Shaw with KBTX and College Station, and another receiver that you guys, or that left out of the portal, freshman Mario Craver. Just kind of what kind of a player is he, and what kind of potential have you seen in Mario? Yeah, Mario is a great player. You know, one of the best that I've been around, and I wish him nothing but the best at A&M. Very special player, good dude. I have nothing but good things to say about him, and I hope he has a great year.
Right side.
Chase James with the Columbia Missourian. I know you didn't get to throw with him a ton last year, but what can you speak about Kevin Coleman Jr. and what he could bring to Mizzou this year?
Yeah, like, I mean, same thing with Mario. As Mario, I mean, very special playmaker in space. Became very close with Kevin, so I wish him nothing but the best moving forward at Missouri. I feel like he's going to have a good year.
Left side, back row.
What can you say about your relationship with Coach Lebby, and how important is that to you staying at Mississippi State?
Yeah, I think it's very special. You know, ever since he started recruiting me, I feel like me and him hit it off right off the bat. We have a good relationship outside the building, but also inside the building. From coach to player, I feel like we do a good job at communicating, especially within the scheme and defense ID and different things like that. So, you know, he's a great coach, but he's also, you know, a great father to his kids, husband. You know, he's great to be around, and I'm glad I get to learn from him.
Left side, second row.
Blake, good to see you again. David Edelstein, sports director at WJTV in Jackson, Mississippi. With the changes in how college sports are working with things like revenue sharing now as of this month and NIL and all that you've seen throughout your career, obviously you're in what looks to be your final season of playing, but how do you feel like that changes things like recruiting for a team that's building like Mississippi State?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we need to focus on the year that we're having and go win football games and things like that, and I think it will take care of itself. Obviously, revenue sharing, where college football is at compared to where, when I first came in, it's completely different. But I think if you win games, no matter where you're at, it's going to take care of itself.
The right side.
You've obviously been around this game a while now. How do you evaluate the quarterback class this year? With Arch, with Norris, all of them really. Garrett, obviously. Just this year's class of SEC quarterbacks. How would you evaluate them, and just thoughts in general?
Yeah, I mean, they're all special players. They all very talented, very smart, good dudes. I was just around a lot of them at the Manning camp, and so I got to spend some time with them. But very, very talented quarterbacks. I mean, you look at every year, there's a lot of good guys that play this position, and nothing but props to them and what they're doing in their career.
Left side, back row.
There's a lot of talk about rivalry in the SEC. Folks will mention the Iron Bowl, Oklahoma, Texas. Egg Bowl's a very big deal in the state. What would you say about the Egg Bowl's rivalry to folks who maybe aren't familiar with how important it is to people in the state of Mississippi?
Yeah, you don't really realize it until you play in the game or you're around it, and you kind of understand the rivalry of the game and why it is the way it is. We respect them a lot. They got a great football team, but yeah, like that's a game that you definitely want to go and win, and we want to win this year.
Left side, fourth row.
Brennan Thompson is one of your new teammates coming in. Just you've been able to kind of form some sort of chemistry yet with him? What is he like as a teammate and throwing to him?
Yeah, he's awesome. He's explosive. He can make plays down the field. Kind of a lot like Ant, just outside. Quick, twitchy. Has all the characteristics of a great receiver. But great human being too. I love hanging out with him outside the building. Great dude to be around. Leader of the wide receiver room. Does well with just the young guys that comes in. He leads them in the right way, helps them with the offense, things like that. But yeah, he's a great dude and a great player.
Go back on the right side.
You mentioned you're at the Manning Passing Academy. Of those quarterbacks, other camp counselors, who stood out to you? And if you hung out with Gunnar Stockton, what were your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about earlier, I mean, every quarterback at that camp is very talented. And then Gunnar, I got to spend some time with Gunnar. Great dude, very talented player. It was a good time just to be around all the different quarterbacks because, it's just fun picking their brains and being around them, spending time with them.
Final question here on the left.
Blake, that first game, also an in-state game, Southern Miss. What goes through your mind with that kind of being set up as an opportunity to play them? Yeah,
I mean, for me personally, it's going to be exciting just to get back on the field. For our team, I know they're going to be excited to get back on the field too. And the biggest focus just going 1-0. Very good team, brought in a new head coach, a lot of new transfers, got a lot of talented players. So, we got to be ready to go week 1.
Great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
You didn't play LSU last year, right? No, I know. I'm an LSU guy. What year are you in school? Junior. So you played them every year then. So.
Yeah, besides last year.
Okay. And who else did you guys miss that you normally play? Okay. All right. I may ask you about rivalries that changed. So. Okay, we have our final guy this morning, Isaac from Mississippi State. We will open it up to questions. Dan, would you like to start on the left side?
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. It was Coach Levy's first year as a head coach in his career. Have you noticed any differences in him this offseason? Any growth, any development from Coach?
Lev comes every day with the same energy, same vibes. He's always fun to be around, and just comes with a lot of energy. So, if I say anything, he's been more locked in on us being better than what we were last year.
The SEC changed a little bit yesterday, and some of the rivalries aren't getting to be played like they were. What did you miss last year about teams that you'd faced earlier in your career?
I love playing against LSU, and just the energy that they brought when they played. It was always scrappy, and that was fun. Kentucky as well. We had to play Kentucky, I think, 14 years in a row before last season, and that was always a fun rivalry. But I miss playing those guys a lot.
What about the Egg Bowl? How big is that in Mississippi? You're a Mississippi native.
It's awesome, just playing those guys year in, year out. You know what you're going to get that week. You know what you're going to get that game. It's going to be scrappy. It's a lot of respect for those guys, but, at the same time, neither one of us like each other.
On the left side, second row.
Hello again, David Edelstein from WJTV in Jackson, Mississippi. Just wanted to ask about the changing landscape of college sports with revenue sharing starting and NILs, of course, a few years now, and transfer portal and all that. In your experience, just, as a student athlete yourself, how do you feel like all of this with the money and everything could potentially change recruiting going forward, especially for a team that's continuing to build like Mississippi State?
I feel like it just takes kids getting to go see these places. I try to tell all the recruits that come that money's going to be there. At the end of the day, you're still playing football. I feel like now it's like a job. You can get cut, you can, you lose money, whatever. But at the end of the day, you're still playing football.
On the aisle, third row, and then pass it over, please.
Hi, Isaac. AP Stedham, AP as we see it. Isaac, what would you like to see from the defense this year that will lead to improvement?
I would just say execution. We had a lot of missed execution last year. Coach Hustler preaches it day in and day out. We lacked, execution the whole season, really. Missed tackles, missed assignments. And quite frankly, that's why we lost a lot of games. I think we were last in about everything. So, having 10 sacks, you can't win that way. So we got some guys at the portal that's came in that's ready to work and ready to compete. And I think we're going to surprise a lot of people this year defensively.
On the aisle here.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX in College Station. Going back to your recruiting, I know that you'd kind of taken a visit at A&M. What were your impressions there at College Station at Texas A&M?
I loved College Station. That was one of my top 5 schools. I liked Coach Fisher that was there at the time. And, at the end of the day, I just found home in Starkville. There's no distractions in Starkville, small town, real pretty community. The people are awesome, and I fell in love with it, and I'm still in love with it, and will forever always be in love with it.
Right side, back row.
Hi, Isaac. Carmen Corley with WTOK Meridian. If you had a message to State fans ahead of the season, what would it be?
We've been working our tail off all summer long. We had a great spring. The new guys we got, they've been working real hard. The offense, they look really, really well. The defense, we did a lot of things to fix what we had last year, and it's going to be a fun season.
We'll stay in the middle here, fourth row.
Carlo Brown, WCBI TV in Columbus, Mississippi. Isaac, Jeff Libby was talking about earlier. He said that despite the struggles that the defense had last year, that they see the vision, and specifically shouted out you. He said Isaac Smith sees the vision and what we're trying to accomplish on our defense. I want to ask just what are you seeing in the defense that maybe some other people are overlooking?
Last year, I feel like a lot of the criticism got put on our coaches, but I always tell the guys, the coaches can't go out there and play for us. It's up to us to go execute and make the plays, and that's what we didn't do last year. So, defensively, if we can go out there, get stops this year, I have all the faith in the world that Blake going to go get the ball to guys like Brennan, Anthony Evans, and, Lev's going to call those plays to get the ball in the end zone. And, maybe like this year we'll be on the other side of things instead of going home with our, sad and mad that we lost close games that we should have been winning.
Left side, back row.
Blake was in here earlier, and he talked about being more comfortable and working on his leadership this offseason. What have you noticed as far as Blake being more of a leader, and where's the leadership on the team coming from?
Blake's been a lot more vocal. I feel like this been his second year here. He's starting to understand that Mississippi State culture and what it used to be like in Starkville, and what it can be in Starkville again. We got a lot of guys that lead that's been at Mississippi State for 2 or 3 years now that understands like the purpose behind everything that Coach Levy's doing and the strength staff and what all the coaches are preaching, as well as we got players that lead by example, that don't like to talk, but they come, they work hard each and every day, and those young guys, they get to see that, and it's like, okay, maybe they don't talk, but they show it by the way they work. So, just having different types of leaders on the team, it goes a long way.
Second row.
Isaac, with a game like against Southern Miss, it's not the same as the Egg Bowl at the end of the season, but to you, I guess, what do you make of having another in-state game and being able to start off the season that way?
It'll be fun. It'll be a bunch of Mississippi fans throughout the whole state. So, if they like Mississippi State or Southern Miss, that game's going to be packed at the Rock, and it's going to be fun. It'll be a hot game. I think it's the 3:30 kick in Hattiesburg, so that's going to be really fun down there, especially seeing a bunch of guys that you played in high school. So it'll be fun.
On the aisle here.
One of your new teammates is Malik Silla. Kind of what is he like as a teammate, and what do you feel like he's going to bring to this team?
That was a great addition we added to our edge group. I feel like he's going to be one of the guys that can come in and get after the quarterback and help us get more than 10 sacks this year. So his work ethic's really good, and he's been around great players at A&M, and now he's finna come here and show everybody what he can do.
We have time for 2 final questions. We'll stay on the end.
Chrissy Freud, USA Today. As much as you can go into it, is there anything different from the defense schematically that maybe you think that we could see? And then also, Mississippi State, having been around there, has a very different mentality, as kind of an underdog with something to prove, but has been on top several times historically. What does it mean to play for Mississippi State, and how can you kind of describe how it's different than other places might be?
Okay. Schematically, Coach Hustler does a great job with day in and day out of doing things to help us, if it's changing calls so where we understand it or to where certain players understand it. He does a great job, and being a DC and being a leader there, and it's going to be a good season. I think it'll be a lot similar, but there's not much there to that. And then Starkville, Mississippi State, we're blue collar. That's what I love about it. Really got it out the mud place. And I love that. That's really the whole state of Mississippi. And I love the fact that Mississippi State's always been about that, and, just working hard and going to prove something that maybe people don't think that you can do.
Final question, Dan, on the end.
Brennan was in here earlier. He mentioned that he's a small town guy, and that was one of the things that attracted him to Starkville. Does it take a certain kind of personality and a kind of the right kind of attitude to embrace the city of Starkville and playing for Mississippi State?
The people there are so welcoming, but when it comes to football, you're going to have to be ready to get dirty down and have some fun to play football. You got to really love the game. I'll say it's not a place for everybody because it's not like these big cities and big towns. It's a small, pretty place that's just awesome to be at. If you don't look like, there's no distractions in Starkville. It's strictly football and school and just having fun and playing ball.
Isaac, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have Brennan here, happy to join us, and he's the first person in 2025 Media Days to have opening remarks. Brennan, it's all yours.
I would just, I'm from Spearman, Texas, a small community in the Panhandle of Texas, and I had the opportunity to go to Austin, Texas for the 4th of July to see some friends of mine, and as we all know, there was a bunch of floods that were down there that took a lot of lives, and I just want to just say prayers to all those people and, just make sure that we're still looking at them and supporting them and everything we can do.
Thank you for your remarks. That's a tough thing to follow. Do we want to open up to questions? Somebody like to start? We'll go over here in the front row.
Hello again. David Edelstein from WJTV in Jackson, Mississippi. I just wanted to get some of your perspective, having been in college sports, is with the changing scenery that we're seeing with things like the revenue sharing that's just started and NIL recently and all of that. How do you see maybe recruiting changing, especially for a team like Mississippi State that's looking to build in this new world?
I think for me, money isn't everything, and it shouldn't be. Obviously, we're in a new world, and it is. But, just focusing on football. I think, when you go to a school somewhere, you're there to play football, and so that's the most important thing.
Back row on the left.
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7. You've transferred in to Mississippi State. What does it mean to be selected to represent the team at SEC Media Days before you've worn the uniform in a game?
It's an honor. It really is. It's a blessing. It really is. It's an honor. I think all my teammates trust me, and I trust them. So it's really a blessing to be here today.
Another question?
Obviously, you're looking ahead to this upcoming season, but last year you got to play with Jackson Arnold. He's also transferred. He's going to be the starting quarterback at Auburn this season. What can you say about the player that Auburn is getting in Jackson Arnold?
They're getting an amazing player, amazing athlete, but even a better human. He's an amazing player on the field and an amazing human off the field. He's a great guy. I enjoy my time with him. He actually hit me up this morning, so shout out to Jackson, man.
Go on the right side, second row.
Alex Byington on 3. Brennan, what can we expect from this offense this year? We didn't, obviously, with Blake's injury last year, you didn't really kind of get the full scope of it. So what you know of Jeff's offense, what can we expect?
We're going to play fast, and we're going to be explosive, and we're going to put up a lot of points.
Okay. Second row again, and then we'll go in the back.
With the game against Southern Miss, also an in-state kind of game, not necessarily a rivalry, but I guess they all are in Mississippi. And you're new. Do you have any thoughts on just kind of starting off the season that way against a team that's also with a new head coach and a lot of new players?
I'm excited. Obviously, I'm excited to put on the uni for the first time and actually take the field with my brothers. Game one, I think the jitters are always there. Being right there in Mississippi too, a lot of family would be there for me, and so I'm just excited to get that game started too.
Again on the back row.
You had options in the transfer portal. What was it about Mississippi State, Jeff Lebby, that made this the right move for you?
I think for me, it was just the history I already had with Coach Lebby. I knew what I was getting. He knew what he was getting and what I was expecting. And then ultimately Starkville. Like I said, I'm from Spearman, Texas, 3,000 people in the town. And so Starkville was very much like home to me, very small town, country. That's what I'm about.
Do hometown people come over? You think you'll see some this year in Starkville?
No doubt. Yeah, my family's always been a big supporter of mine, so they'll definitely be there.
What are you learning about the passion of football in Mississippi that you haven't maybe experienced yet?
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. No, obviously coming from Texas, it's a big deal as well. But yeah, Mississippi State football to me, it's everything now. It's where my feet are. It's where God has led me, and I'm excited to go put on for the state.
Fourth row.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX and College Station. Being from Texas, kind of going back to your recruiting, how close of a decision was it for you? I mean, I know Texas A&M, you'd taken a visit. What were kind of your impressions of A&M?
It was a hard decision for me, ultimately. I think, if I could go back and do it again, I probably would have done it a little differently. But, we're all human, and, we're, at the end of the day, 17, 18-year-old kids trying to make a life-changing decision. So I think for me, just choosing Austin was, I just wanted something a little different from what I grew up in, in a small town community, and then ultimately realized, maybe that's not what I want. And so trials and tribulation, and errors and learning from my mistakes it's made me the man I am today.
You have pretty deep convictions for a young man. Where does that come from?
My mother, for sure. Yeah, my mother raised me right. Shout out to Bonnie. She's probably listening right now. But yeah, she's amazing.
Right side.
Obviously transferred out, but Oklahoma's undergone some big changes, especially in this offseason. Just from the outside looking in, but you have your inside knowledge. What do you expect from them this year? And I know you don't know the quarterback necessarily, but just the newness there.
Yeah, I mean, I expect great things from them. Nothing but respect for Coach Venables and that whole entire staff. They treated me with the utmost respect. I enjoyed my time there, but I'm definitely think they got a good squad, and wish them nothing but the best this year.
We have a couple more minutes with Brennan. Anything else for him? We'll go back here on the second row.
Thanks. I'll just follow up on something that we were chatting about a little earlier, just to go a little more in depth. What is the process for the team and players to get to know each other at a level where you can perform to your maximum capacity when there are guys like you coming in and then others who are freshmen starting and just in general, a lot of moving pieces. What is that bonding and then performance process actually like from your perspective?
I think it all starts in the locker room, and then going from the locker room, it all starts on the field when we're out there and it's 100 degrees and we're out there sweating and dying and during running workouts. You know, you really get to have to lean on a brother, and then obviously off the field as well, getting to know them as a person, not just a player, is huge. You know, not everyone is the same as they are on the field as off the field. Like Isaac got this aggressiveness and this passion on the field, but then off the field, he's just this outgoing, guy that's just down to earth. And so just getting to know each and every player so I can help lead each and every player a little differently, because I don't think as a leader, I don't think you can lead everybody the same way. I think everybody requires something a little different. And so just learning, like I said, off the field, whether that's we go fishing, we're going hunting, we're going, hanging out in the backyard, smoking some ribs, hanging out, whatever that is, to just get closer together as a person, as a brother, it's going to help me on the field as well whenever we're 3rd and 2, and I got to count on that man to go make that block or make that catch or whatever it is. I got the utmost trust in him to go do that.
Right side, 4th row.
Chase James with the Columbia Missourian. You guys, as part of Oklahoma, you got a pretty thrilling matchup with Mizzou last year. Obviously, different team now, but what do you expect out of that matchup this year?
I expect it to be competitive. Obviously, wish nothing but the best, and I expect it to be a good game.
Brennan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wish you the best.
Thank you.